Let's go. Who's ready for another interview now? And it's time to keep them coming. I'm very ready to introduce my next guest onto my show. Introducing, I have a London-born singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and so on. We have Rich Evro Reid. That's Rich Evro Reid. Welcome to my show, the Danny Sun Radio Show, syndicated shows, podcasts, and so on.
Hello, Dan. Good to
Great.
meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. How is life treating you today? And are you still London based at the moment today?
I am London based, West London based, yeah. Yeah, things have been good. Today's boiling hot in London. Absolutely
Mm.
can't do anything. So yeah, West London, Ealing. I'm from a little part called Ealing, which actually has a rich heritage of rock and roll. It's where a famous club called the Ealing Club started, where Marshall Amps had their first shop. Terry Marshall had his first shop. So there's a really good heritage around Ealing, and there's a team that are really holding on to that, and as musicians in the community, we're really supportive of that, because there's a ton of venues and all that are just closing down all the
Mm,
time,
mm,
music venues, and this little pocket of Ealing with its history is really holding on to its
mm,
heritage, which is really good,
mm.
you know.
Yeah, I know Ealing, Ealing Broadway. It's on the tube. You
Yeah,
come out, and I
yeah,
remember I've
well,
been there once.
opposite Ealing Broadway. If you come out of Ealing Broadway, there's a little stair that goes down to where the old Ealing Club was, and that's where, Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce, the Rolling Stones,
Mm,
Yardbirds, they all cut their teeth in there. It was a famous club back in the 60s.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I know.
Lots,
Been there once. I come out, and I know it's very bustling high street, and I remember lot of pubs as well being there as well.
loads of pubs.
Good.
Unfortunately, there's loads of pubs, but with loads of cover bands, which is,
Ah,
is okay.
yeah.
But
Do you feel the community, like say, not just Ealing, like maybe like in London and maybe elsewhere, should like support more original artists?
it's a mixed bag, because there's a lot of venues that do cater for original music and all that, but there's a lot of pay to play kind of schemes going on in these venues,
Mm,
like the Water Rats Uptown. That hasn't closed down, and it's a bit soul sucking, really, to be
yeah.
going there. So there is good communities around Ealing, and West London, where there's like open mic nights where poets and musicians all go down and hang out, and play their original music. It's
Mm,
it's there's lots of little stuff, but you have to find it or
mm,
recommend it. So
mm,
I,
mm.
I recommend there's a place
Cool.
called the Red Line, which is a gold mine in Isleworth, and I go there frequently, and it's just brilliant. And
Mm,
there's a real community spirit there, which is great,
yeah. So just mentioned about like your geographical background. In a nutshell, can you just tell me like how long have you been like doing music for, like performing?
Well, performing, I guess the first performance was a recital when I was about 10 years old, playing the guitar. I started learning guitar when I was 8, and I had a fantastic music teacher at my middle school who, really saw my kind of potential, and I had guitar lessons outside of school, and she would let me play in assemblies, and it was like, no, it was like Ukrainian folk
Ah,
songs and things like that, which was kind of what I was learning. Plus, my guitar teacher told me the first thing he taught me was how to play the 12 bar blues, which was so those two kind of
mm,
elements have kind of been there. But like getting older, being in bands and all that, yeah, we were hitting the pubs and clubs from the age of 15.
mm. And the recording
Yeah,
as well.
too
How long have
young.
you been like a recording artist for?
Well, I've recorded um, for many years, but through lockdown, I built my own studio and well, I converted my loft space into a studio. And in that time, I kind of honed my craft as a producer, and I've been recording, I think I've 5 albums now. So, and they're all kind of different things as well. So, um, you know, well, lots of like instrumental albums, I suppose. Producing stuff I would play in with bands and stuff, but last year I just kind of, enough was enough, and I kind of knuckled down and I recorded my solo album, my first solo album. And I'd released the first single from that solo album, which was Save Myself. I think that's a song that you've heard. And my album launch party, or release, is going to be on the 20th of September. So there's a big album coming out with vinyl as well, which are in production. I just got my test pressings through. I'll show you this.
I,
Got my
oh
test
wow, yeah,
pressings.
yeah.
So, and it sounds fantastic. I got a bit emotional on Friday when I listened to it. I listened to it back to back 2 times through. It sounds great.
Good for you. No,
Yeah.
brilliant. It's great to see the white album, sleeves again.
Yeah.
Those are the
Test
days.
pressing. So I gave the record factory the thumbs up. I said, yeah, go, go, go. So hopefully they'll be ready early September to be shipped out. I've already had a good few pre-order sales,
Ooh.
and that will line up with the album launch, where I hope to sell, a ton of merch, as well as
Mm.
put on a great show of the album.
Great. No, good. Positive. One of the reasons I invited you on was you're promoting a new single called Here and Now. How's it going with the record? How has it been like received, like with the promotion of this by the general public?
Yeah,
And do you feel it's a song about like the status quo this moment in time?
sorry, Dan. I think you got me mixed up with somebody else. My single "Save Myself."
Oh, Save Myself.
Uh,
Okay, right then.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so Here and Now, you've got a new single called Save Myself. Save Yourself.
No, 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 no. Rich Evro Reid has a song called "Save
Oh,
My."
right. Okay. Anyway,
Leave, leave.
yeah, yeah, no worries, no worries. What's your latest single called then now? What's
Um,
what's
well, I've just released a new single called "Tamper the Tones," which is the second single off the album. I intend to release 4 singles up to the release of the album. But the first single I released, which I think is the one that you heard, it's quite oriental, psychedelic.
mm,
There's a music video that I made for it that went with it, where I'm holding my breath underwater for the duration of the song. I don't know if you got to see that, but that's on YouTube. And yeah, it's going. It's been well received, and it's starting the momentum
mm,
building up for the album
yeah.
launch.
What's
Yeah,
that song called then, please? What's the
it's
title of
called
the song?
"Save Myself" by
Save
Rich
Myself, right.
Evro Reid. Yeah,
Right, got it, got it, got it. And you said there's a
yeah.
music video to accompany this release
Oh
as
yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah. It's fun. It's a fun. It's shot. It's a one take video, and it's a real keep it simple video, and it's me holding my breath underwater for the duration of the song.
Mm. Right. Also, you mentioned there's vinyl to buy, and you say like about the music scene, like in London, the open mic nights. Do you like to go out there, like in like the London Underground, and like perform, like street
Busking.
perform? Yeah, busking.
Um, Well, I haven't done it in a while. I would probably, I don't intend, I don't kind of go out of my way to do it. If the guitar comes out on the tube, then it'll be coming back from a gig or something with a whole
Hmm.
bunch of people, and we'll have a sing song and all that. That has
Yeah.
happened a few times, but no, I think now you need like a license, a special license to
Hmm.
go busking on the tube now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll leave that one, I think.
It's crazy when you see like musicians just turn up and when you're just going, your everyday activities and you see like musicians busking. How on earth can they get a permit?
Yeah, well, they've
Yeah,
got to play, and I think I do
yeah.
believe that there is a waiting list as well. So
Mm,
it's
mm,
it's a long thing to kind of do,
yeah.
to wait for, really. But you can pretty much kind of get away with getting on the street and just busking anywhere if you really
Mm.
wanted to. You'll just be ushered along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
moved on. Yeah, I guess. What musical inspirations have been yours like over the years and decades, like Britpop maybe, or some of the classics, 70s, 80s, or any other
Um,
genres?
well, I mean, I grew up um, on my father's record collection. Pretty much that was going on in the house, and that was like it was quite an eclectic mix of stuff, which was like Lou Reed, Hendrix, um, Captain Beefheart, the Stones, lots of Stones records, Pink Floyd as well,
Mm,
and they were just the fabric of the environment that me and my sister were growing up in, and pretty much they've just kind of stayed my staple diet since
yeah.
today,
Mm,
really. So I mean, I do like the classics, Leonard Cohen, especially Nick Cave, these two. But currently, I like what there's a record company called Rocket Recordings. I like the artists on that label, bands like Goat, Swedish band called Goat, and there's
mm,
another band, Moundabout. So yeah, it's hard. There's so much going on though. Is there's
yeah.
there's so much noise out there that it's really if I do hear something and it instantly gets me, then I'm a fan,
Mm,
but
mm,
there's so much going on. So
yeah.
that's why I kind of just go back to what I know really, and
Mm,
they kind of set the moods. If I'm in the mood of something, then I know exactly where to go.
sure thing. Um, Also, I'm going to take a gamble. I think this is correct. Cinnamon Girl, does that ring any bells with you?
Yeah, well, that I covered that, and I released it as a cover version, and it was a thing where when I converted the loft into a studio, I wanted to kind of promote it a little bit, and so I invited a bunch of musicians on to record the song Cinnamon Girl with me, and they came from various signed bands as well, and they agreed to come in, and we recorded it. And it was sounding a lot like the original, in terms of like rock, really rocky. But I kind of had a chat with Jamie, who played guitar on it, and we were like, what should we do with it? And we ended up just putting a ton of Indian instruments on it and flipping it on its head a little bit, and the results came out really nice. Yeah,
Yeah. On my
really
notes, I
nice
did
actually.
put I like the various flavors of the sounds on this record.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
There's it's called a Dilruba. You're actually supposed to play it with the bow, but I kind of played it sitar like.
Mm.
So it's got a nice jangly feel. It's kind of like a modern classic
Mm.
60s vibe.
Yeah, I was thinking like your George Harrison, like elements of Indian,
Right. Yeah.
music
Yeah,
there.
'cause it's got a harmonium in it as well,
Ah,
which is really nice. Nice drone in the background, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, I mean that's the great thing about having
mm,
this place is there's a ton of instruments at my disposal. I like to record real instruments at the source. I'm not one for emulation
mm.
computer sounds. So yeah, so we just kind of yeah, I just picked up a sitar, Dilruba,
Ah,
and a harmonium, and I just
yeah,
added it to it, and it came out really well, I
yeah.
thought.
I mean, chatting with you, it seems like you're very comfortable having your own identity as an artist.
I yeah, I just you just got to be authentic. You just got to be yourself.
Mm,
That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You just be yourself, be authentic. Don't listen to noise of how you should be as an artist, because that just defeats the whole thing.
mm,
So yeah, you just got to be yourself, and make sure that you finish projects that you start.
Some good advice there. So
Yeah.
on to today, here and now. Do you find you've had to make
Mhm.
any big sacrifices to get to where you are now? Has it been quite a rocky road, or ups and downs? And
Um, I think financially, yeah, maybe it's tough paying the mortgage as a
mm,
musician. I've got 3 children as well.
mm,
Um, so that's difficult. So there is a day job that I have to go to,
mm,
which, I just have to see that as that's going to put food on the table. The music's not, you know, giving me the lifestyle that I
mm.
would like to,
Yeah.
well, not the lifestyle, like the rock and roll lifestyle, but just, just to help be financially stable to do it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's happening. There's a transition happening. So I am doing more and more music,
Mm,
and I'm composing for a sync library now, which is like kind of doing other like folky instrumental stuff. So using my skills, yeah. But looking ahead at the journey, this album's coming out. My first real solo album's coming out on the 20th of September. I've already got another one lined
mm.
up.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a
Yeah.
consistent flow of records coming out in the next few
Amazing.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, like,
Mm.
chatting to you, you're obviously like you're London-based singer-songwriter.
Mhm.
The price of living in London is obviously, very higher than say from where I'm from Birmingham. But in Birmingham, we probably
Right.
don't have as many opportunities or music venues as
Oh,
probably
really?
where you are. Yeah. So do you think it's like
Right.
like a toss of the coin type thing, heads or tails,
Of
something like that?
the location that
Your
you're in.
location, yeah, does that help,
Yeah.
being in a
Um,
central location?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it does help. I know that 3 nights of the week I can go to certain places that are nearby,
Mm,
and be play and listen to original artists playing as well. So that's a real benefit. I mean,
mm,
yeah, absolutely. I guess I don't really think about that, but that is a lucky thing to do. But that's,
yeah,
you hear about, maybe people in America, wherever they may be, they always head towards LA or Nashville. They go find those places. So
yeah.
I can't, I don't know if I was outside of London. Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm.
probably likely that.
I guess it's you never know until you try, do you?
I think the thing is, you got to find the community. You got to, wherever that is, that's like the kind of grassroots stuff you have to, because like playing live, it's important, the engagement between you and an audience. That's what's magical for me, is that, playing in front of people. And you got to just kind of find those hubs. They must be all over the country.
Mm, mm.
They must be. You
Yeah,
just got to find it and
yeah,
start the community.
yeah.
Start there. you know
And you mentioned producing. Would that be another avenue which you may go along with at some point? Do you enjoy that
uh
aspect?
what a nice upcoming band coming with a 20 grand paycheck and say, produce my album. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. I produce all my own stuff. I'm a multi-instrumentalist as well. So I've released a lot of stuff over the last 8 years, actually, in many different bands and all that.
Mm,
Uh, Plus, recently I've just uh, composing for a company as well. So producing that, and writing and producing and recording as well. This album, I produced it and played all the instruments on it, bar a couple of songs where Mick came in and played the drums, and Justin, a neighbor of mine, came and played some trombone on an outro of a song,
mm,
which was beautiful. But yeah. I mean, the whole thing is, Dan, is like, I'm honing my skills, and I don't have to rely on anybody now
yeah.
apart from myself. and it's a lot of work to get through, but you know, I kind of I know how to finish projects now, which is like a massive thing.
Mm.
You know, it was like that was one of the things that I probably couldn't do that well 10 years ago, but now I know to, which means that there's an abundance of music happening all the time.
Mm.
So and just releasing and just keep putting stuff out there, you know, see what sticks.
Great.
That's the key.
Well, these interviews go really quickly. Ultimately, this is your new release is the one we look forward to, and then we'll play your the single that you mentioned now on my show, and that should tick us over for now. Rich Evro Reid, lovely having you on my show today. All right.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you,
one.
Dan.
You're welcome.